Alright guys, so got the Q50 here. Ran into some transmission problems literally the day before I was about to sell it. Was making a car video, trying to show the exhaust, was kind of whipping it around, and I came to a complete stop. And what happened was, when I was accelerating in first, I was in manual and sport mode, and I noticed there was a little bit of a shake from about 0 to 20 kilometers an hour before it had shifted into second gear. So after I felt that, I was like, what? I'm about to sell this tomorrow. This is crazy. I gotta figure this out. Hopefully, by the grace of God, it'll be good. But you know, some things, when you have mechanical issues, they are, you know, engines, transmissions. You gotta take good care of these things, guys. Because what I found out with this is that this car had never had a transmission flush before in its history. That's partially on my fault. Now going forward, when I'm buying these vehicles, I will make sure that the transmission fluid is good. I will not buy a vehicle without getting the transmission fluid checked. So you guys should do the same when you're buying vehicles, even if everything else looks good, because this thing had no mechanical issues at all. I had no way of knowing. The first owner was the manager of an Infiniti, so you know, I kind of took that in good faith, like there would be good maintenance. It had maintenance on the Carfax, but it never showed the transmission flush. Previous owner before me did all the work himself, and same thing, no transmission flush. So little mistakes on my part, but I've learned from them, and going forward will not make the same mistake. Encourage you guys to do the same. But yeah, so basically I'll show you guys what's going on, just so if anybody has the same issue, you know relatively what most likely it could be. So I'll put it in standard. I just fired up the car, and I'll see if it does it, and go from there. So yeah, already it is doing it. I don't know if you can hear it, but there's a little bit of a shake. I'm literally just idling, no acceleration on the gas. There's a little bit of a shake. I'll put it right into sport mode right now and into manual. Once again, shakes. As soon as I kind of get going, like now, I'm a little bit more than cruising. If I step on it, once again, there's a little bit of a shake, but not much, and now it's already gone, right? So you can't even tell anything's happening other than that initial shake. You can kind of see how it shakes, and it's gone. Slow down. Now it's really shaking. Right? See what I mean? Uno más. One more time. One more time. Accelerate. It only happens in first gear too. Every other gear shifts totally fine. Right? So if you guys are having a brief shake in first gear, in manual or automatic, it does it either way. Initially it only did it in manual. For the most part, I could kind of feel it in automatic. So yeah, that's kind of some more. I hope if anybody else is having a similar issue, that this video will help you to be able to diagnose what's going on right away. I searched and searched. There was like 1 or 2 other videos that kind of showed, but they never went through in the comments explaining, you know, if that was the issue, if it was a transmission. They didn't get back and to the comments and be like, hey, this is actually what's going on. So yeah, if you guys are having that brief shake, when you're accelerating and sometimes decelerating in low speeds, I want to inform you that it is most likely your transmission is going. Now with this car, the reason I know this is I've already taken it to the mechanic shop. I've already taken it in to a hybrid mechanic. I took it to a regular one. They couldn't even diagnose it, right? They said they didn't know enough about the hybrids to be able to go. So I took it to a hybrid mechanic. They put it up on the hoist. They drained the fluid. I saw the fluid coming out of this with my own eyes. It was black. The mechanic said he has never saw fluid that black before. So I wasn't there when they pulled the pan off, but these are great mechanics at Adair Auto in Calgary. And they called me after. They're like, yeah man, it is not looking good. There's tons of shavings in your pan. And so because I'm having issues shifting, essentially what's happening is the clutch in first gear is not letting go as it should, right? It's kind of holding on to that gear and having a problem accelerating because of it. So they figure that it's the clutch in first gear. Every gear in the 7-speed automatic transmission has its own clutch, right? So there's 7 different, or I believe 6 different, or there would be 7 including reverse. So there's a clutch for each gear. In first gear that clutch is going, and because it has never had a transmission flush before, there's a great chance that all of the other gears are going to go very soon. And with the hybrid, the issue is I've called about having it rebuilt, and it's 2023. This car was made in 2014. Sourcing the parts right now, especially what's going on in the world right now, you know, once they start diagnosing and chasing the issue and going the rebuilt route, they said, you know, we'd love to rebuild it, but we want to advise you that it could be up to 10 weeks. You know, because most likely there's other issues that's going on, not just the clutch. Everything else, if the clutch has been going, that means the fluid's been running through the motor and or the transmission, and it's been like everything else is breaking down as well. So there's a good chance that it could add up very quickly, and that it could run into a parts issue where to source some of the parts is not an option. So the route I'm going is I found a 180,000 kilometer transmission in Winnipeg, and currently they're pulling it out of a car. They're gonna check the fluid first. Once they check the fluid, they're gonna call me. They're gonna give me an update on the status of the fluid. The fluid is good. I am gonna buy it, right? I got some good mechanics here in Calgary who are going to install it, and then the car will be back up for grabs. I also replaced the sway bars the day before the transmission went, so honestly, whoever's buying this car, it is amazing. I love this thing. I'm going to be flipping another car after this, but in the future, I honestly would not be opposed to buying another Q50 Hybrid. So yeah, that's it guys.